Hi, I'm Diego Zambrano, and this is my key activity from the physics class. For introducing this research, I will explain the main concepts and the perspective of the experiment. So then, according to the law of inelastic collisions, it says that when colliding with an object, the main object will reduce its velocity. But depending on its mass, it is inferred that the velocity will be higher due to the impact force. So if we compare balls of different masses, from a similar initial height, it is expected that the ball with the higher mass will bounce higher because of its impact force. More concepts applied in this research are free fall, that is defined as a motion of an object where gravity is the only force acting upon it. Friction, that is the force between two surfaces that are sliding or trying to slide across each other. That's the reason why it always works in the opposite direction to the direction in which the object is moving or trying to move. Momentum can be defined as mass in motion. All objects have mass, so if an object is moving, then it has momentum. The independent variable is height, that is measured in meters, and is an independent variable because it is a data that the user can control by dropping the object from the height they want. The dependent variable is initial velocity of the bounce, because it depends on the final velocity that also depends on the weight and height, so both are dependent variables due to the same reason. The control variables are mass and volume. Mass is measured in kilograms and is essential to calculate the initial velocity in free fall problems, so the result of the velocity depends on the mass of an object. Volume is measured in meters to the cube, and you can modify the volume of a ball by adding air pressure inside the ball. For example, if you add air inside of a balloon, its volume will increase. After specifying that, here's the question. If you control the height where balls of different masses will be dropped to calculate the initial speed of the bounce, how the result of its final velocity in free fall affects the ball to bounce with the highest speed. The materials we were using for this experiment are a tennis ball, a basketball, a ping pong ball, a timer, and a measuring tape. For the process, first of all, we set the heights with a significant distance so that there is a change in the different tests, but where the wind doesn't affect the trajectory of the ball, so the heights are 0.75 meters, 1.25 meters, and 1.87 meters. Second, we establish the balls that will be experimented with and that have a large difference in mass in order to see a real difference in the results. The balls are a tennis ball, a basketball, and a ping pong ball. Third, we drop the ping pong ball from the three different heights and check the height of the bounce using the measuring tape. Fourth, then it's done again with the same ball, but now to calculate the time it takes to hit the ground using a timer. Fifth, drop the basketball from three different heights and check the height of the bounce using the measuring tape. Sixth, again with the same ball, but now to calculate the time it takes to hit the ground using the timer. Seventh, drop the tennis ball from three different heights and check the height of the bounce using the measuring tape. Eighth, to finish the steps with the same ball, but now to calculate the time it takes to hit the ground using the timer. Ninth, finally, by doing a chart with the results, we can compare the differences to make a final conclusion of the experiment. For the results, after doing the experiment, we calculate the final velocity in free fall, then the initial velocity after bouncing, and finally, the final displacement of the ball, and we did it with each ball. This graph shows the initial velocity of the bounce of each ball in a specific height, so we can see that the ping pong ball at 1.25 meters was faster than the basketball, and at 1.27 meters were basically at the same speed. In conclusion, we could observe that the ping pong ball and the basketball have a big difference in mass and volume, but seeing that the speed with which they left after bouncing is practically the same. There is not much difference between velocities, so we can say that the mass of the basketball helps it to gain more force due to its momentum, but having more volume made the air friction to take away speed as it is a bigger object. The ping pong ball or the tennis ball that even loses speed due to air friction. Looking at this graph, we can conclude that mass is important for the initial speed of the bounce, but not enough to create a significant difference, so height is the most important factor if we want to see a real difference in bounces. It was expected that the more weight the object had, the faster it will be, and that is true, but in this experiment it was not as significant as expected. Instead, height proved to be a more significant variable for the experiment. The points to improve to obtain better results are increasing the height and the mass in an abnormal way, and also different variations of this experiment could be doing it in a place where the air friction does not affect, so the results will be totally different. Another way could be using another gravity, so you can do a variety of experiments based on the same concepts. These are the references where we got the information. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching.